the number of military veterans in the U.S., somewhere around 23 million. From depression, PTSD, even suicide, the risk of having some sort of mental health concern is all too real for those men and women. So today I would like to welcome Ryan Sargent and Abby Reynolds to tell us about a new program for the Military Vets Resource Center. It's so great to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So Abby, first of all, just kind of briefly tell us about the Resource Center. What is your mission?
Well, our mission is to help veterans gain self-reliance in their lives, and so we provide a lot of different services for veterans. Sometimes when they're transitioning from the military, it's difficult to know what services are out there to help them readjust, and so we offer employment, transportation assistance. We have a food bank, which and just now we offer counseling. That's our newest service we're offering vets.
Okay, so Ryan, you are a licensed professional counselor. So share with us some of the things that veterans deal with that maybe most people don't always know.
So some of the things, it can sometimes be hard for veterans when they leave the service. They don't have the sense of brotherhood that they're used to. So that can be a challenge. So especially they don't have the shared experience that they share with their fellow service members.
And mental health concerns are probably a big part of what happens when they kind of get back into the real world, right?
It can be. It just depends on their experience.
Their experience and things like that. Yeah. So what transitions are toughest for veterans to really deal with? Is it getting the job? Is it just back into civilian life?
It's usually a little bit of both. It can be a challenge. Sometimes finding a career, going from an established job that they're trained to do proficiently, and then they basically can be starting over when they leave service and enter the civilian life. My example would be I was trained as a combat engineer, and I worked with explosives, and there isn't much to do with that in the civilian life. So you kind of have to learn which skills are transferable. And there's some of the leadership training came in handy with my experience.
And so as a counselor, how are you able to kind of help them transition, deal with that, and kind of get back to maybe a new normal for them?
So it's helpful when you talk through issues with people, and the thing with counseling, it can be especially helpful talking to someone who's not involved with their situation, someone who's objective. So counseling, it provides them a space to open up and share freely without any expectation. And sometimes talking through their problems and with someone who's trained can help show them where change is possible.
Can be a big help, I'm sure, for a lot of them. So Abby, you mentioned at the beginning of the show that you offer this Veterans Food Bank, and we've mentioned it before, but I want you to tell us about what it can do for these families.
Yeah, it's a food pantry for veterans, service members, and their families, and spouses can also come in for assistance without the veteran or service member there too. And it's at our Columbus location, open for families Monday through Friday. And so we actually have 4 location resource centers in the state for veterans with food pantries at each location, and that's made it the biggest Veterans Food Bank in Ohio just for veterans and families.
And you're doing something really cool. They're running a Veterans Food Drive from Labor Day through Thanksgiving. So we want to tell our viewers, what are you looking for? How can they help?
Absolutely. We're excited about this food drive that we're running. We're seeking food donations, non-perishable food items, personal care items, diapers. Food has really become one of the most important services as we provide veterans and families since we opened in 2014 for providing food assistance. And last year we provided 32,000 meals across our locations for families. And so the donations really help us serve veterans in our communities.
Hey, what kind of reactions do you get from veterans, from their families for offering this?
They're just they're very thankful, and sometimes they don't want to come and ask for help, and it's something that we understand, and so they're just so grateful, and they feel glad that they have a place that comes in and understands their experiences, and then can offer this assistance with no questions asked.
All right, Abby, Ryan, thank you so much for being here. Again, we have that information up on screen if you want to go to their website, stop in and make it.